Hello, and welcome to a brand new season of Internet Comment Etiquette. This is the only show where every week we sit down and focus on how to leave truly proper, thoughtful, and intelligent internet comments. Today, we're going to be talking about Yelp. Now, the reason I picked this for today's lesson is because I recently took a trip up the East Coast with my wife, and we went to a lot of cool places that would be perfect to practice our Yelp comment etiquette on. So, before we start, I'm going to let you know the 3 most important steps to leaving an internet comment on Yelp. 1. Review the establishment in question. Obviously the most important step. 2. Talk about yourself and who you were with and why, because nobody wants to listen to someone who dines alone. And 3. Complain about other reviewers, so that they know that you're the one who's right. Anyway, let's put these 3 steps to work as we leave our comment on Barnesboro Inn in Mullica Hill, New Jersey. My wife and I came to this place for a quick bite on our way up to New York to celebrate our anniversary. I should say the service was exceptional, and the food was good enough. Wife had chicken ranch wrap, and I got omelet. My omelet was a little soggy, but that's how I like it, so no worries. The only problem was when the owner of the restaurant stumbled over to us halfway through our meal and called my wife a cunt. I told him he was being rude, to which he brandished a knife and told me he'd cut my tits off. He reeked of alcohol, and at some point started running around the restaurant blowing cocaine out of his nose onto people's meals while screaming, "Who wants Parmesan cheese, you N-words?" That is an exact quote. He also kept asking if anyone had seen his dog, and at some point the staff had to drag him into the back where we could all still hear him shouting that Jews were stealing his silverware. My wife couldn't stop crying, so we paid our bill and left. In conclusion, I recommend you try the chicken ranch wrap, and everyone else who reviewed this place is gay. Signed, Dr. Penis P. Ness, attorney at Balls and Penises. And post. Alright, well I think that's a great example of the 3 necessary steps to leaving a basic Yelp review. Now let's move on to something a little more difficult. It's when you use your Yelp review to also leave your opinion about a larger related aspect of what it is that you're commenting on. It's called the pitchfork method. People usually do it when they realize nobody's reading their blogs, or when they've been on unemployment for too long and just lose their minds. But today we're going to do it just for fun. To give you an example, I've loaded up Central Park in New York on Yelp. So I'm going to leave this comment here and just pay attention to how I subtly flex my creative muscle to make this review really pop. Okay? Here we go. Wow, what a beautiful park. Definite must-see if you're ever in the area. And by area, I mean that shit stink asshole fuck zone called New York City. Listen, this place sucks more dick than Dick Van Dyke's wife. And speaking of dykes, why the fuck does everyone have such short hair here? I didn't realize there were girls in the city until one of them started talking. Furthermore, everyone in New York walks around with their jeans rolled up on one leg. Isn't that for when you're riding a bike? Roll your fucking jeans down, you idiot. What I really liked about Central Park was that the city around you seems to disappear, which would be great if that actually happened. My wife and I stayed in the part of town that smelled like piss, and every building was under construction 24/7. I also believe there was an ambulance siren inspection site somewhere near us. It was hard to tell over the sound of nobody being able to afford brake pads. I suppose it's hard to save money when your entire city is full of alcoholics and the bars are open until 6 a.m. so everyone can stay wasted and forget about what life must be like somewhere that won't give them instant lung cancer if they take too deep a breath. Central Park is easily accessible by public transportation, such as the subway, also known as the underground poop train, where you have to lift your feet for the rats to scurry their way home, i.e. the not-open chest cavity of the dead homeless man next to you. Lots of people will tell you that New York is the best city in the world, and those people can straight up eat my ass whole. Just ask my wife, who got stabbed by a police officer when she tried to buy a large soda. Even in fucking bitch-ass Tel Aviv, you can buy whatever soda you want, and Tel Aviv, of course, is the second shittiest place in the world, right behind New York. In conclusion, don't listen to the positive reviews. Those people are all cunts with Stockholm Syndrome for a city that is trying as hard as possible to make their lives gross and miserable. Hail Hitler, and post. Okay, did you guys notice how I used IE there? Now, a lot of people mistakenly think that IE stands for an example. That's simply not true. IE is used in place of that is. Written out fully in Latin, it's id est. You use it when you want to say, in other words. It's simply used to specify or make more clear. Okay, now I think you guys have all you need to make your best Yelp comments, and what I want to do right now is switch tracks and take a look at when not to leave a Yelp comment, like on a YouTube video, such as this one. Judging by the amount of views that this YouTube video has, that you've all seen it, and I can skip watching it and just go straight to my comment. Found this while looking for hot new artists to JO2, and was pleasantly surprised by the talent and charm of this band. Unfortunately, I found myself distracted by the story, so thumbs down for that. Also, I'm disappointed by the stupid hats everyone is wearing. I apologize if that's just a Canadian tradition to make yourself look like a retard. I highly recommend you watch this until the end because it turns out the guy is gay and so is the earthquake that HARP has aimed at California. And fucking post! Alright, well that's it for this week's lesson. Hopefully I've given you all of the tools necessary to leave Yelp reviews for all of your favorite restaurants. And as always, I'm going to leave you off with the comment quiz of the week. When's the most appropriate time to divorce your wife? A, when the romance is gone from the relationship. B, once legal counsel has been advised of the situation. C, after a long conversation about your future together and addressing the fact that you might be drifting apart, leading to a mutual agreement to separate and stay friends despite it all. Or D, at the end of a YouTube video. Janet? You cheating whore? I want to shout out to my sponsor, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A? Hey, you want a chicken sandwich? Are you gay? Then no! Thanks for watching, everybody. And make sure to tune in next week for internet comment etiquette on salvia. No joke.